Welcome in, folks. Happy Tuesday as Lew takes a nice big long drag of that Diet Coke over there.
Diet Coke. We're going cold caffeine. Sometimes you got to
Unsponsored.
mix it up. Got to throw the hook at them because I drink so much hot coffee. It's like every once in a while I need a cold shot of the caffeine.
A nice cool beverage to maybe cool you down a little bit out there.
It's hot.
It's getting a little warm.
It's hot. For January.
You're going with a capital HOT or just a lowercase?
I mean, for January, it's a capital H then lowercase HOT.
Okay. Do you know how to spell?
I am getting better at it.
Okay.
I'm more right brain than left brain.
Yeah, folks, we got up to at least 78, perhaps 79 degrees at the Jacksonville International Airport earlier this afternoon. So, yeah, certainly getting a little steamy. I feel bad for my dog. I kind of left the patio door open. We've got an enclosed porch and screened-in porch for him to go out, but he might be panting here soon. Now, he does have water, of course, but
I hope so.
The apartment's going to be a little warm when I get home later tonight.
Yep. Very warm and a little sultry out there. We're going to deal with that for the next few days, so enjoy it while we can. You know, we are in the season. It has been the winter of the snap, so we've got some snapback coming. But in the meantime, let's make the most of these days, the foggy mornings, and lending themselves nicely to a warm-up in our afternoon.
The fluctuations make it difficult for the closet.
Yeah.
Because I've got a couple of coats kind of crammed in the back of my closet, and you get one out and you'll use it for like 2 or 3 days, and you put it back in there. Yeah, and then like a week goes by, and then you're gonna need it again. And I've now gotten to the point in the year where I'm not putting the coats back on the hanger properly. Like everything, I'm pretty OCD about like orderliness in the closet, and now it just looks like a hodgepodge.
Oh, you go
mess.
Insane in my closet. Insane.
Yeah.
I need to have I need a Goodwill day and I need a organizing day because like my dress shirts, like work shirts, my button ups are mixed in with my golf shirts.
Oh,
so
no, absolutely not.
At this point, you know what I mean? Like I've got 7, 8 polos, but interspersed between them, 3 or 4 of the straight collar button downs.
That's insane.
With my quarter zips and fleeces, I got to do something.
Now, see, I go full on like suits, white dress shirts, dress shirts that have a slight pattern on them. Then I go like flannels, then polo shirts. Well, it used to be the First Coast News polo shirts. I've now since like folded those and moved those to make room for like normal polo shirts, going out polo shirts, long sleeve. Like
well, that's what you
section.
should do, and that's what I do. Like I think once a month I get in there and I look and I'm just like I can't handle it anymore. So
there is some orderliness
at about once a month. It lasts about a week and a half, 2 weeks, but like you were saying, with the weather changing, and we can't like just depend on for 2 weeks you're going to need the quarter zip. For 2 weeks you're going to need the hoodie. So I'm just pulling out one day and I just throw it back up.
Yeah.
The first place I get. So you're right. It maybe, as we get closer and closer to spring, the spring cleaning vibes will take over.
Start to kick in.
But I need it. I need it desperately. I got some old shoes. I
just threw out 3 pairs of dress shoes.
Yeah.
Got 3 brand new pairs, so got rid of the oldies.
I'm wearing some of my oldies, and they're so comfortable, but they are kind of ugly.
Mine were just falling apart.
Yeah, they're going to fall apart.
When your coworkers out in the newsroom are making fun of how old your shoes look.
Anthony?
Actually, no, Brock.
Oh,
Brock and Tegan. Yeah, people you wouldn't suspect.
Yeah, I kind of semi-suspect Brock. I wouldn't suspect Tegan. That's too bad.
Well, it's a little bit of like a gang, like a pack of wolves.
Yeah.
Once one wolf comes after you, they all do a little bit.
They sense.
And that's kind of what it was like with regards to my shoes.
Uncomfort level.
Yeah.
Well, what do we got out there right now? You were showing me. Downtown looking good. We saw the live picture. What a big difference, though. We talk about being near 80. But even along the river, NAS Jack's at 74. I mean, that's a pretty noticeable difference. And then you get out towards St. Simons or Jacksonville Beach, and we struggle to get out of the 60s today.
Yeah.
So that cold ocean water doing some work.
And same thing over on the Gulf Coast. Now, of course, we don't have sensors over there per se, but you can see the color contours. I mean, those bright greens down towards Perry and Apalachicola and stuff. So certainly areas near the water are going to be a good bit cooler out there today. Pretty light breeze, I would say. It's not a pure wind, but we've had 10 to 15 miles per hour for the most part out of the southwest for most of the day here, Lew. That wasn't the case last night. We had a very calm environment. A lot of fog developed, and we'll talk about that here again occurring, overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning as well. But clear skies on the first coast, pretty similar story to what we saw yesterday, Lew. So nothing really to write home about here.
Love this.
A different story if you have friends or family who live up across the Great Lakes in the Northeast. So you can almost like draw a line from Green Bay over to, let's say, like the northern Catskill Mountains.
Yeah.
Or like the Hudson Valley.
Yep. It's Great Lakes going to do their thing, and it's so whereas Buffalo, Rochester, they were getting those bands of lake effect, not quite the dynamics. So really, this is where having been up there, so the kind of the crummy, I would call this downright just crappy weather. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because it's now you had all that feet of snow. Last week when we were talking with the lake effect banding, and now the rain moves in, and it's a cold, just miserable kind of rain.
Just like a slop.
Yeah, and everything you just are muddy essentially until June even. Like you're just muddy, and
you got to have that towel ready to go to dry off the dog's paws.
Yeah.
Like 24/7.
Yeah. I didn't understand the reason or meaning about what a mud room was until I went up there, and visited with the in-laws. And
the spring thaw is real. Because I remember playing like baseball and stuff, and you're right. It was pretty much through like April. You get into the early part of May, and everything's just like always wet.
Everything
and muddy. You're always dirty.
Even that in rain days, it's just the residual, from a season of snow and then things like this. But right on that line, but between Buffalo and Rochester, are we getting a little sleet or are we getting the snow? This is are we in Rochester now? Or are we seeing is this the Red Wing Stadium? What are we looking at?
No, this is still Buffalo, but I guess
they flipped it around?
Someone in Buffalo is moving the camera around a little bit. So it looks
what's
like it says Sparky.
What's the Buffalo minor league
team
baseball stadium?
Where is Robert Spetto when we need him?
That's right.
He would know.
Our resident Buffalonian. And right now, I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm happy that these people are having terrible weather.
When you can see the snow still down there on the ground with the rain coming down. No, you're right though.
I don't wish any harm on anybody.
Yeah.
But I do wish them terrible weather.
Hopefully Josh is getting a terrible week of practice.
Just bad.
Yeah, I'm sure they have indoor facilities, of course, but we can think in our head that they're currently outside freezing their tails off.
Taking the dog for a walk, and he's just in a bad mood. Just moves. Let's flip it around. Now, they're not doing this. The folks in Buffalo are. Maybe they know we're streaming and looking at their city right now angrily. But you know what? I get it. Like, I get why Buffalo fans travel so well.
Because they don't want to be there.
Because. Okay, well,
anywhere but here's what they're all saying.
Honey, we got a couple of grand in the bank right now. Do you want to stay here this weekend? The Bills are in Jacksonville where it's going to be 83 on Saturday. Should we go down there and make a long weekend of it? I bet she's like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's take our folding table. Let's pack that up. And,
our folding table.
And all of our lighter fluid that we're going to set everything on fire.
Do you think they have like a rotating like folding table, like you bring the folding table this week,
yes,
and next week you bring one, but
so.
Like in 2 weeks time you're going to bring that same one again, or do you have to go and buy a new folding table?
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, like I think there's
like you're just constantly buying folding tables from just.
I'd be interested to walk into, like, just go into Buffalo and walk into your regular old any home improvement type store, and do they like. Our folding tables like front and center. Mm-hmm. Like you walk in, like, here you go, guys. Just take these, or they have one discount or something. I would like to have a conversation with our people in Buffalo. I know Robert Spetta is working on that for us for later this week.
Yeah.
He's going to have a stream, or at least an interview with some of our friends at WGRZ, our sister station in Buffalo. I am curious how that whole breaking tables thing got started.
It's not a pleasant experience. Have you ever jumped on a table?
No, never done it. Don't plan on it.
So I have not either. One of my best buddies has though, and it didn't look enjoyable. I feel like it's enjoyable when you're here, right? When you're still above the table.
Yeah, but then you hit
it.
it.
Once you hit the table, and then you hit the ground.
Then you hit the ground. That's the thing.
That's the bad part.
The table gives, the ground doesn't.
I feel like you got to be smart about how you're like.
Yeah. You got to be a thick boy too. better when you're thicker.
Bounces a little bit more.
Let's take a quick break. We do have Jags forecasting to do because the Bills are coming here to a much better geographic location, at this point at least for weather. And we got to talk about that morning fog too. So stay right there. We'll be right back.
Welcome back in, folks. We took a look up at snowy, rainy, crummy-looking Buffalo, as Lew talked about or spoke about. So let's bring it back closer to home. We've got a warm afternoon here today. Overnight tonight, staying on the mild side.
Yeah,
Lew,
we
should be in the mid-40s for our overnight lows tonight. I think most folks get to the upper 50s, but certainly some areas, especially along the river, perhaps some of the coastal areas, only low 60s.
Yeah. The number one question that I get every morning, having a wife who is married to a meteorologist, is what am I sending Ollie and Ruby, my children, out to school? Are they wearing a jacket today? Mm-hmm. So to answer the question, I think shorts are fine tomorrow.
Yeah, shorts and maybe like a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, and then something to peel off by the afternoon, certainly. But the big thing is, whatever they're wearing, let's make it reflective or bright colors. Like the brighter the colors, the better.
Those neon sneakers.
Yeah, something visible. I know if they're a walker biker, I mean, a lot of kids have like the lights on their helmets or bikes now, and so do that. Duval goes back to school tomorrow, so we've had St. Johns County back a minute. A few other districts have gone back, but for Wednesday, everybody is going to be back to school. So let's be extra vigilant. Certainly if you're driving, and we always talk about, reaction time's a little bit slower on the interstate when you're going 65, 70. But, when you really need to react is in the neighborhoods too. So let's keep it a little bit slower. Let's think like the speed limit, you don't need to hit it. Just keep it cool in the neighborhoods, just because with visibilities being a quarter mile or less, we've got to watch out for those kids. It's going to be busy again. School buses are back out. We've had a long break, so be cautious with that fog.
Yeah, and considering, I don't have the specific stat on this, but I feel like just in the 2 years I've been here, we've had a lot of pedestrian incidences and accidents and things of that nature. So yeah, certainly just be mindful, as Lew mentioned, especially in the neighborhoods, those parkways where there's going to be a lot of kids or folks walking either, to and from school like here or to and from work, whatever it may be. So yeah, please just stay alert. Don't have the high beams on. You want those low beam fog lights on.
But this is till 9, 10 o'clock. Sun will start coming up, but with the low wintertime sun angle, it takes another hour or two for things to really get mixed up. And then the temperatures rebound. But it's right during prime walking, biking to school, driving to work hours. So that's hence the weather impact alert for these mornings. infinitely aware.
I feel like we should say this. There will be some spots that aren't going to be super foggy.
Right.
But there are also then going to be some that you're really locked in. Both the radiational fog, but also the sea fog in some of the coastal areas as well. Because I mentioned to you, late last night on my drive home, I ran into some fog. Now, it wasn't dense yet, but at 11:15, Waycross and Brunswick both had quarter-mile visibility. But then this morning, up at the airport, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
I woke up and there wasn't a whole lot of fog there. So there's going to be, kind of pick your poison a little bit with regards to where the fog develops, where it sets up, and things of that nature.
Where is it always worst? West side. It's always if something's out there. Something about Cecil, but like always, that oak leaf.
It sits a little lower out there, right?
It does, yeah. There's a bowl, and so you're going to have that. So let's think west side of Duval, Western Clay. We'll probably see the worst of it. But that's not necessarily because of a way something's lining up synoptically. It's just history. It's just kind of like we always see the worst of the visibilities there. So a rule of thumb would be to kind of lean on that. High temperatures tomorrow, though, we're right back up at it. Upper 70s. Keystone and Palatka, Gainesville will be flirting with 80. And we see the modeling. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, just wanting to paint on a couple of showers. I think, you might see a few thick clouds out there. The rain chances are super small.
Yeah, I think there's a very narrow window sort of some moisture in the mid to upper levels that models are trying to depict here essentially. But yeah, as Lew mentioned, I think 95% of us probably stay dry throughout your Wednesday and perhaps Thursday too.
There you go. But with the continual, southwest to west wind that we'll get, we'll anticipate that pretty good warming. But yeah, Thursday we'll do it again. Some patchy fog. We'll kind of wait and watch more modeling, see how dense we're going to get, if it's going to be another morning of it. But it certainly looks like that this pattern is with us. And 80s. Officially forecasted for Friday and even into Saturday.
Favorite 80s song? Hit me. With your best shot?
Tears for Fears. Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Okay.
That's probably my favorite. That's an 80s song, right, Chris? That's like 88.
Well, with the Stranger Things season 5 finale having recently come out over New Year's Eve, I feel like 80s music and things revolving around the decade of the 80s is now like back in the spotlight again.
Yes. It makes it. Yeah, it's pretty.
Were you aware of Stranger Things and that taking place in the 80s?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm aware of that. What's the year? That was the year 85. All right, that was 2.
Smack dab in the middle. Way to go.
Way to go. All right. Yeah, I knew that was 80s, but I just didn't know what part. So, God, my buddies and I that all went to high school together, the group chat, we were talking like how old we are, and we were talking about like how like the 80s to now, when we were like in the year 2000 would have been like talking about like the late 50s and 60s. Then it's like, God, that hurts because truly the 80s and really the 90s, like I was 83 baby, but so I don't really remember much of these a little bit, but like the 90s, that's a freaking long time ago, but it just feels like yesterday to me,
Me too.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
I won't say what year I was born. Can you guess?
98?
No. 97.
97. Close. I was close. So close.
97, 97. Remember that for the birthday card this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got 80s for Friday. For Saturday as well, we've got this nice little ridge, miniature heat dome, so to speak. And just a ridge of high pressure kind of through the end of the weekend into at least the start of the weekend. But then you'll notice, as you pointed out yesterday, Lew, those kind of greenish blue colors up across the Great Lakes. That's kind of the source of the low pressure in the trough, that there's often a cold front draping southward or southwestward from it. That's what we're going to be watching for as we head into the weekend. So before the front arrives, you get some of that compressional heating. Going to be a little bit breezy on Saturday. Southwest winds 10 to 15. Temperatures low to mid 80s. So yeah, for those fans coming down from Western New York, they're probably going to love the weather on Saturday.
Go to the beach.
The key thing is going to be, what is the timing of the front? How cool do we get? What moisture could there be or may not be for some showers? So you want to take another quick break?
Yep.
We'll come back. We'll kind of talk it down, break it down for you in just a few.
Do you have any changes to your favorite 80s songs now that you had the 80s playlist going during the commercial break?
Is Hungry Like the Wolf an 80s song?
Yes.
Love it.
Love it. That's good.
I'll go with that. Or
Don't Stop Believing, man. You played that Journey song. That got me. But I'm still
Yeah.
sticking with my Tears for Fears.
I could probably think of more. Dream On.
Aerosmith?
Yeah.
Is that 80s or 90s? That's close. Now we're going to have to start Googling again.
I don't know.
But we got to get to the forecast for the Jags.
Yeah.
So let's talk about timing of the front. Severe weather for Dixie Alley.
Yeah, Friday.
Very likely.
Yeah, Friday afternoon, evening, kind of as that front rolls in. They're going to have a lot more kind of instability, heating, moisture for them, that Gulf Stream kind of return flow back into them. So you can kind of see that depicted here a little bit Friday afternoon and into Saturday. So here comes the front for us, Lou.
Yeah.
It seems to have slowed down a good
Yes,
bit
it did.
from what it showed yesterday. We were thinking more so kind of late Saturday afternoon at the earliest, but primarily Saturday evening. Not really looking to be the case here now. Showing to be more of perhaps an overnight into early Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And that's me trying to be real optimistic here.
Yeah.
It-
I think there will be some lingering moisture for the Jags. For
You
tailgate
think?
time, yeah, just the trend of this thing slowing down. You might, it might
I
not
was
hurt to
trying-
bring
I
it
was
down.
trying to be
I know.
optimistic.
I hear you. And this is why there's no weather impact alert for either day. Because it has to do with both confidence in the forecast and how big are the impacts. And our confidence right now is at the medium to low side. I mean, to be frank, because the modeling keeps kind of windshield wipering between a little bit faster, a little bit slower, how much moisture is involved. And I will say that one consistent thing is it hasn't painted a ton of rain, at least, not like Saturday.
And we have seen this time and time again. Now, this past weekend was a little different,
Yep.
but we've seen these fronts put out, 5 or 6 days in advance. And then by the time you get to about 3, maybe 4 days out,
Yep.
the front is almost non-existent,
Yeah.
at least with regards to the moisture and the rain chances
Yeah.
coming down toward us.
So it's got to fight a battle against that ridge we showed you, and what kind of wins out? Does it get shoved back? And because a lot of modeling suggested if it crosses I-10, that would be a stretch. So we watch, and in the meantime, we're sticking with the 60s for Bills visiting your Jaguars for that 1 o'clock kick. I still think while the 60s is seasonable, after we've gone through a couple of days and afternoons with the 80s, you might want to layer. You
Yeah.
know, and you get in there, especially with a chilly breeze. You might want to just prepare for maybe being on the cooler side of things. And Bills fans will be shirtless.
Especially if you're celebrating after the game.
Right.
That northwest breeze, once you get to sunset around 5:30, temperatures, they're going to drop pretty fast. So, by 3 to 4 o'clock, a 4-degree drop, I'm thinking, by 6 p.m., you might already be low 50s,
Yeah.
upper 40s in some locations. Temperatures will certainly begin to plummet.
They're going to drop fast, especially considering in the 7-day what we see for, Monday morning, which we're going to get back to the third